Namaskaram, KTR Garu. I'm Poonam.
Right.
And first of all, I would like to congratulate you for Ramappa on a cultural aspect. You've spoken about beautiful policies which have been undertaken by your government. And first thing I would like to know that what are the steps taken when you come up with a policy? And secondly, the recent Dalit Bandhu scheme which has been announced. Is it really practical? Because the amount of money which has been announced for Dalit Bandhu, why right now? And the amount of money which will be, spent on that scheme is huge. So is it even practical? That's my question.
Thank you, Poonam. Firstly, thanks on Ramappa. I think it's a great honor for Telangana and the country also. In fact, to get a UNESCO World Heritage Tag for one of our brilliant, traditional heritage structures. And it was the first structure in Telangana, which again, I'm very, very proud of. And hopefully we'll even get that for Hyderabad eventually, because Hyderabad, I keep saying, is one of those rare cities which has a combo of both heritage and the new age vibe. So Hyderabad should get it also. Let's all work towards it. Now, your question about practicality of Dalit Bandhu and other schemes. Poonam, 2-3 things for you to think. Firstly, yes, it's a bold reform. It's very, very bold. It's very, very radical. And our Honorable Chief Minister can only dream big. That's his problem. He can't think small. He can't think big, dream small. When he thought about Raitu Bandhu, the same question popped up. A lot of people said, is it practical? Is it feasible? Will it work? We've not only done Raitu Bandhu successfully, we have now set the tone for the rest of the country. Today, about 11 states have come out with their own programs. In Odisha, they call it Kalia. In Bengal, they call it Krishi Bandhu or Krishak Bandhu, I think it's called. And like I said, Honorable Prime Minister himself took it upon. I think he took so much liking to the scheme, he also adopted it. He calls it PM Kisan. So Raitu Bandhu became a trendsetter that way. Like I told you, Mission Bhagirath, again, it became a source of inspiration for Jal Jeevan Mission. And today they're trying to implement it across the country. Mission Kakatiya, again, has become a role model for the rest of the country. I firmly believe, Poonam, that 75 years of independence. आज़ादी के अमृत उत्सव क्या बोलते हैं वो? अमृत whatever. अमृत उत्सव, right? So Prime Minister जी ने बुलाया था हमें पिछले साल. बुला के उन्होंने पूछा था all political parties he had called. He conducted a meeting. He said, बताइए अब क्या क्या करना चाहिए? 150 साल बापू के बर्थ एनिवर्सरी और आज़ादी के 75 years क्या क्या करना चाहिए? तो उसमें मैं भी गया था as a party functionary from TRS. So I told him 3 things. Sir, I said, the 3I mantra, if India really has to propel itself into the next next orbit, the 3I mantra is what I think we ought to be focusing on. Innovation, infrastructure, inclusive growth. Now I'll start with the third one, inclusive growth. मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ inclusive growth माने? आज अगर आप इंडिया में देखते हो 75 years के बाद, like I think Obama or somebody said very famously, there are 2 Americas. There is that America and there is, this America. Likewise, India एक इंडिया है, एक भारत है. आज इंडिया में 75 years के बाद भी दलित की अगर आप हालत देखोगे तो बहुत खराब है, in spite of reservations, in spite of whatever has been done. So if you look at it, the model for 20th century when it was about Dalits and how do we emancipate them, it was through social justice reservations. But 75 years of experimentation has not worked. When plan A doesn't work, you have to think radically, you have to come to some other alternative. Now, why only Dalits? A lot of people question. Why can't it be, why is there no minority Bandhu? Why is there no tribal Bandhu? Why is there no BC Bandhu? Why not other subgroups and social groups? Is it good to kind of segregate the society and do it this way? I would say, most definitely, if you look at any statistics, socio-economic indicators and statistics, Dalits as a community across the country, while they are scheduled under the constitution, they are a scheduled category under the constitution, they are still the most downtrodden on any socio-economic indicator in the country. And they form a significant percentage of our population. They are about 16 to 17% in Telangana. And if you look at the country, I think I'm not very sure about the number, but it's quite substantial. If you leave out a certain sizable section of the population, even after 75 years, ignore them and continue to ignore them in spite of knowing fully well that none of your previous policies have worked, I think we are doing a great injustice, not just to ourselves, but our country and our future generations also. This is, yes, it's a bold experiment. It will require a lot of capital, But like I was pointing out to Vinaya, in my previous question, आप अगर एक बार ठीक से समझते हो, we are not just giving away money. It's not like we are giving away money unhinged and unconditional. We are saying कि each family को जो 10 लाख रुपया दिया जाएगा under दलित बंधु, it has to be productively leveraged and it has to be converted, it has to be doubled or tripled over a period of time. That's the goal. And we are not just going to give money and, let them be. Our collectors, our nodal officers will work with them in helping set up mini dairies, in helping set up rice mills, in helping set up small micro units, and we'll ensure that somebody will move from BPL, below the poverty line, to above poverty line. That is the eventual goal of Dalit Bandhu. Yes, you're right. It will take significant, it will have a significant strain on budget. 1,70,000 crores is the initial estimate, but it will be phased out. It will happen over a period of next 4, 5, 6 years. Each year we'll be looking at about 3 or 4 lakh families altogether. In Telangana, it is anticipated that there are about 17 lakh families. So if you spread it over a 5-year program as a prior year program, then you have to cover about 3 lakh plus people, 3 lakh plus families every year. And you have to remember one thing. Each rupiah you spend in your state on any DBT or any program, it will come back to the state in the form of revenues also. We have spent nearly 1 lakh crores on irrigation. More than 15% of that has come back in the form of taxes to the state. It contributes to your growing economy. तो आपको ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए कि हम लोग ये कर जायज कर रहे हैं, वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. If you're able to lift this one section from BPL to APL, then I think that is the greatest service our government would have done to our country. I am a very firm believer, Poonam, that Honorable Chief Minister's program so far, whatever he's dreamed of, he's been successful. And once he's set his eyes on something, he's achieved it. And this will also become a role model for the rest of the country. I firmly believe that. And this is something that we have to do 75 years after independence. We can't live in denial. कल हम लोग देख रहे थे अफगानिस्तान में क्या हो रहा है. The entire world is in denial. The entire world is looking the other way. The so-called United Nations, the so-called other, powerful countries of the world. We are seeing all these horrific pictures, but we continue to look the other way. The powerful leaders, who want to be regional superpowers and all, we seem to ignore them. I'm saying the same logic applies here as well. We can't continue to ignore the Dalits, the tribals and others. We started with Dalits. Tomorrow, who knows? Our Honorable Chief Minister might say, let us help others also, and we might even take up several programs. But for now, I think this is the agenda. We are going to go ahead in spite of what the naysayers have said all along. Even when he started the Telangana movement, a lot of people said this is impossible. It's an impossible dream. But he's a man who's made possible out of impossible. So this is also possible, and I believe in it.